Hello everybody. So back to the saga of the broken wire. Today is Remembrance Day and I'm out here under my carport that I built. The monstrosity of overkill. Logs, beams, stainless steel cable, turnbuckles, heavy duty stuff. So the saga continues. I pulled this back out because last time I got caught by the rain, but I did manage to do every connection. So today I'm gonna tie this up a little bit more with some tape, and there's a tab on the bottom here that once attached to the wire there will prevent this edge from cutting your wire. As you can see, it's a danger. So I got some loom, some bigger loom to put all around the wire as it goes up this hole up here. Once this pulls out, you would be able to see the red wire, and there's also an edge there, so I'm going to put it in a loom and stuff it way back all the way up to here. So that's the plan there, to protect it. This is a forever project. The wire will last longer than the car, potentially myself. So, but before all that, there's this little trick, and I want to try that trick out, whether this was all in vain or worth it, because this lock has to work before I put all this back together. So I'm going to plug in here, and then lock this closed. And technically, the remote should open it. So let's see what happens. Alright. So she's plugged in. Let's take something that'll lock this. Haha! Yeah! Booyah! That was me pressing the button on the remote, and guess what? Yeah, she wants to work. So this exercise was not in vain, believe it or not. That is a sigh of relief and some reassurance for anybody that wants to go on this journey. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and the grass is greener on the other side, and there was a rainbow somewhere out there, for sure. Okay, so now that the lock works, that is 100% confirmed. I'm just trying to get this together in a way so if it ever has to come out, it is possible. So I threw a zap strap on here just to kind of keep these wires together. They're all heat shrinked here on these connectors, so I'm not too worried about this side, since they're nice and thick and they're being held by the glue. The other side, the wires are a little thinner. I didn't really match up the gauge that well to the car side, but the compromise was to have a strong wire in the bending side. So instead of matching every gauge on the vehicle through the bend, I just went with heavy wire, and I'll never have to do it again. So that's the idea. So the top side, I put a bunch of electrical tape where the thinner wires are holding onto the heat shrink connectors, just to protect it, hold it together. I'm not going to do that on this side because it's looking good. So I can stuff that in there nice and easy. Now it's time for getting that tab attached to these wires and making it all the same width as the tab, so this metal doesn't cut it on the edge. So I'm going to throw the zap strap on there, and then put some electrical tape around it, just enough to protect it. These are just little baby 4-inch zap straps for light duty work, just to start holding it on there. So I think we like that. And it's time to rock and roll, and we don't want to be too high either, so the top side doesn't get rubbed. But looking by the size of the hole and the profile of the wire standing up, looks like it's going to be just fine. If I throw some tape on there, it'll all work out. Not too tight, just the right pressure. Making sure that tab is on the bottom. So it isn't on the bottom. So why is that? Okay, that's the top side. Okay, I see. So they don't actually have it to protect it, but I'm going to put tape on there to protect it. This arrow here shows the rubber up, so let's give her and get some tape on there. Everything has to be done so it can come back out. Well, I think I like that. So what I'm going to do is throw some grease on here, because these are really hard to put in and take out. I just got some white grease. Lubriplate. It's like a marine grease, but it's awesome on everything. We don't want too much. I'm talking just a tiny baby bit. Yeah, I think I put my shoulder out trying to take this out every time. Voila. It might help, it might not help. Who knows? But we'd like to think that it will help. Okay, so give it a little tug from the underneath. Sneak the wire through. And there's a chance to get this back in there. Way easier with the grease. Oh, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, That's just amazing. Okay. So there's a connector up here for this right-hand light. Sneak it through. And this is a triangle. Yeah, that's the way it goes. So do I like that? I don't like that. Looks like this is also going to sit somewhat close to... Do I like that? Let me see. Yeah, that's protected by the rubber grommet there. So, yeah, that'll be okay. Alright. She's in. Alright, so I'm going to get this loom measured out and throw it underneath where the wire goes out to the back, pinned to the wheel well there with those snap-in plugs. So that'll be, yes, about that much. Let's measure it. Alright, so this actually turned out pretty good, and I thought it was going to be one of the hardest things I was ever going to do, because obviously you had to get the loom into a hole over the wire, but the loom did have an arch to it, so I worked with that, and she's good and protected there. Lovely. So I'll just have to make sure that this is all buttoned up in here. This snap goes up here. And that's a pretty good service loop there. The inside is going to press that up against there, and if I have to work this up higher, then I'll have to do that. But looks like the connection is in line and there's no pressure on it. It's lovely. So there's a snap there, there's a snap there, and let's do a disco test once again. Fun times. Is this gonna do it? Alright, she's in. And the press of the button. Dun, da, da, da. Not bad. Okay, she works. Alright, so I'm going to have a little disco snack inside and get all this paneling back on. Happy times! This is looking nice and neat. Yeah, it's all good. What do you know? Alright, I'll see you on the flip side when I'm putting this back in, but I mean, it's not total rocket science. If you were able to get this job done, then putting everything back in is really rudimentary, in my opinion. Plugs will go back in. I don't exactly remember how to put this back together, but there is a little plastic piece that snaps in here. Yeah, we'll make it work this way. But I'll probably do a video on that because it's been months since I've taken this apart.